Let me try something here with the lighting. Yeah, see if that's any better. Oh my goodness. Well, it's all up in my face. That's fine. Five by five. Hey, Scrappy. Is that Seculus? How you say your name? I'm probably saying it wrong. Hillbilly. Prep your stead. Welcome. Deb. Hey. Nose. You know what? We may nose. I don't know. Missouri in the house. Jeffrey, welcome. Southern boy, welcome. Good to see you. Shattered. Lady K. Spotted. Welcome. Welcome all. Hope everyone's doing well. Joe, good to see you. Thanks, Southern boy. You know what? Michigan Mom asked me if I was going to go on live last night, and earlier in a stream, and I said, yeah, like no, because I was live last night, and then a couple nights before that. Jason, Angry, the Angry Peppers here. Welcome. Good to see you, brother. Grace, good to see you. Dale, Shattered. All right, cool. So we got people in the chat. That's freaking awesome. Great to see you guys. And I hope you all are doing well. You know, you missed Angry's live. Let me tell you something, Scrappy. You're gonna have to go back and watch it because I got a good laugh out of it a few times. Just because from some of Jason's demeanor and how he does things, it just actually made me laugh. You know what I mean? I wasn't laughing at him. I was like laughing at the situation of how he says some stuff, right? And Pinball actually made me laugh a couple of times as well. Now, if I'm missing anyone, saying hello and all that, sorry, I'm not really reading the chat a whole bunch. Pinball, okay, well, welcome. Well, thank you. It's good to see you here, and welcome. Welcome to everyone, and thank you for joining us. So, yeah, like I said, I wasn't going to do a live stream tonight, but I thought, well, because I was, people were asking me, like Southern Boy asked me, it's like, well, do you think I should go up? It's like I didn't really plan a subject matter or a topic of discussion or anything like that. Armageddon, welcome, Christina. Anyone else I missed, I'm sorry. Hudson Valley, lots of good people in here tonight. There's Les, Lone Star Pioneering. Thank you for coming. But yeah, Southern Boy asked me if I was going to go up, and I said, nah, I don't have a subject matter or anything like that. And I thought, screw it. It's Friday the 13th, 2020, free open chat. I've been watching lots of great live streams and great videos that people have been putting out. Jefferson Martial Arts, welcome. Good to see you this evening, brother. I hope you and yours are all well. Linda, hello. Joe, good to see you. One of the series that I've been watching by a YouTube producer who happens to be here in the chat is by Pinball. He's been putting out a series on interrogation, which is kind of cool. It's kind of, and to be honest, he's doing a fantastic job of it, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's video. But like for me, it has intrigue to it because it's kind of at the very opposite end of the spectrum. You know how he was gaining his intel insofar as his military application at the time, as I was doing what I was doing, right? Like I was working with things that look like these today, right? There's lots of ways to gather information. So he would have been beside his source. Myself, I could have been thousands of miles away from my source. Okay? It's just a matter of how you reach out and touch someone. Pinball would have been using obviously his intellectual ability as well as his, you're using some psychological tactics there on a massive scale, right? It's all a big psych game, right? So that's what it makes it really, really important on that level, because it's that close and personal, right? Myself, I didn't have to do any psych stuff at all. I was more of a radio nerd, you know. But however, there are many different ways to gather intel, right? And what you can possibly find that's useful. Like, all right, yeah, I'll show my new toy again. Yeah, like this. This has the microphone attached to the front. You know, it's a transceiver. As soon as you pop the microphone off, it's no longer a transceiver, it's a receiver. Unless, of course, you got some other digicoms plugged into the back of it. And, then you can transmit and receive different kinds of things rather than sort of voice and whatnot that just comes over the airwaves. You can receive digi-type comms, and if your computer can process it, if you've got demodulating programs and things like that can invert your ones and zeros or do different types of modulation, then you can decipher many different things, teleprinters or like everything that's out there that's going on is happening on the wavelengths. Everything that's the boats are shipping around, they all broadcast and do their thing. Planes are flying around, they all broadcast and do their thing. But even cell phones, they're a broadcast thing. So if you can pick it up, Dale, Bruce, hang on a second, guys. Let me just check something out here. You left your email in there? Okay, Dale. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I will get to that. I'm off for the weekend, so I'll have time. Yeah, I would like to knock heads about that. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you. It's cold. You're smoking outside, Lori? Huh. Well, it's warm in here. I'm 10 and 12 meter, I think, Armageddon. I'm not sure. I can't really read the box very well here just now. I believe it's 10 and 12, this one, but had some problems with it. I'm gonna get it worked out. It's a power sourcing problem. We'll sort it out. It's just a matter of give me a bit of time and we'll get it sorted out. Hey Julie, welcome. But yeah, I thought it was time in my preps to hey Judy, how you doing? Welcome. I thought it was time in my preps to get my comms going on, because I don't know if you guys have been watching me. I pretty much started in March, right? And ever since March, like when March came, I was like, holy crap, I got to get some food in the frickin' ground, and I got to show other people how to do it who are in urban setting. I'm in an apartment. I'm fortunate enough to have a backyard where I can do things. So I thought, man, we need to grow food anywhere we can and put it up. Right? That could be quite possible, Dale. Thank you. Yeah. Something told me, 101, welcome. Something told me early this year, but before any of the lockdowns, but when I saw that nasty bug traveling globally until the past, where it got here and saw its timeline and stuff like that, everything kept telling me, I had been prepping a lot before that. Someone was telling me, stack it, stack it. If you can't stack it, figure out a way to grow it. If you can figure out a way to grow it, figure out how to can it, right? So I learned gardening this year. Like, not that I haven't gardened before for vegetables and stuff like that. I've been doing that kind of my whole life, off and on. But I'd never done any canning before, never any pickling. I'd always see the old ladies, my aunties and such, do that when I was a child, but I learned all that this year. Canning meats, pickling, all of that. Luke, welcome. Nikki, welcome. Pinball had something to say in the U.S. Radio Intel was 98G. Those guys had some serious intel they would gather. Don't ever underestimate Radio Intel. No kidding, Pinball. No kidding at all. And, those guys are, the support trades are crucial, because the guys that are soldiers, the guys on the ground with guns in their hands, going out and doing the actual shooting, they got no idea where to shoot at unless they're told where the enemy is. And that comes from a lot of different people. It comes, supply technicians, the people who issue your socks to you. If you don't have that, you've got nothing to stick into your boots to put on the ground, to go to work, to do those support trades, so that those ground soldiers can do their job, right? So it is a big working machine that way, and every part is integral, right? So very, very important. Comms. Even, like I say, even this thing here, without the microphone on it, you know how much damage I could do with that? It could land me in prison for a lot of years. So I won't share much of it. So, but again, reflecting a little bit on this week, guys, it was Veterans Day, and for our American brothers and sisters, and it was Remembrance Day up here for us Canadians. So I just wanted to reflect on that a little bit, and always remembering the people who've done the things before us, what they did, our veterans, and thanking all of you out there who have served, right? Appreciate it. That's why we're free. And the people who continue to serve, that's what keeps us free. So let's not forget them too, right? Gina, welcome. You got to practice first aid today? That's awesome. That's great. We should all be getting our preps on. Any preps you possibly can. All right. I figured I got my food on earlier this year. And I was concentrating so hard on that I'm starting to forget these things over here. This thing is getting forgotten. This thing is getting forgotten. Yeah, I'm getting little bits of it on the way, but a few weeks ago I started to analyze my preps, and it's like, all right, it's time to start covering up some of the holes, some of the basic holes in the basic preps, just so that the basic preps that I do have are rounded out. Yes, Marie, make a list. Absolutely. That's what you should do. That's how you create your shopping list. But yeah, I had to give food a break a little bit, move towards comms. It's not like I'm done with food. It's ongoing with food. But I had to move into comms. I have to move into other areas to cover, right? 68 in the chat. Isn't that nice? Well, welcome all. It's good to see you here. You can smash the thumbs up or the thumbs down or neither. It doesn't really matter to me. Just good to see everyone here and participating in the chat. So yeah, I thought I'd move on with my preps, and when you excuse me, when you do that, when you start to move forward with your preps, you have to stop and think, hey, Tracy, you have to stop and think, okay, what's next? All right, what are the holes in what's next? What do I already have covered, right? So, yes, comms is one of them. I was going somewhere with this, and I read a comment and completely lost my train of thought. But that happens. In a live situation, I script nothing, right? Jacob A. Any recommendation on a tall 144 to be put indoors? Jacob, no. To be honest with you, I am not your comms guy. I was formerly a military comms guy. The new rig I just got, and okay, we're talking about 25 years ago. And so the stuff that we had all rack mounted in banks beside us, it was all this big, like old VCRs. And I didn't work on it. If I had a problem, what we would do is we would pick up a live phone, call a technician, and say, hey, get over to my door. I have a technical problem. We'd hang up the phone. And then we'd sanitize the room. Once the room was sanitized, we would buzz the techie in. He would run in behind the stuff and fix it all. Okay? As far as what today's equipment is, I really have no idea. I'm just starting to wet my feet to refresh my background in this and try and bolster my knowledge on what's available with what's new, and I'm just dipping my toe in the water here, so I can't really recommend an indoor on a tripod type of antenna. Well, what I do have here beside me that is plugged into my hand there, this is a CB magnet to the top of your car automotive antenna. And that is where I started, so that I had an antenna rather than no antenna. Now, what I can recommend for you, like you can stick that on a tripod all you want if you want to, but what I can recommend is that if you do have the ability to get a long ass antenna cord like this, it's kind of like basically it's a coaxial cable. I'm going to have a look and look at a cross section of what's inside of one of these things, just so that I can know better. But you can get like a 60-foot one of these, tie a rope to the end of it, tie a rock onto that rope, throw it up over a tree, and that'll haul your antenna up. And all of a sudden, if you got 60 feet of antenna, then you've got a 60-foot antenna. You can do that up over your eaves trough or along a fence, whatever you want. Because a 60-foot antenna this way is also a 60-foot antenna this way. This may work better, however, this is also effective, right? So I can't give you a good recommendation on a tripod indoor antenna, but bear with me. We'll go there. I'm like I said, just dipping my toe in the water. So yeah, so that's what I thought. Leave the gardening and canning and such for now. Get into other aspects of prepping, which I think are important right now, right? Hey, Mal, Quebec Homestead's here. Give her a nice welcome. If anybody doesn't know Quebec Homestead, that's my little sister Mallory. She's way up, like 9.5 hours north of me, up in Quebec. Her and her hubby are homesteading a 200-acre plot up there, milling their own timber, organic gardening. Some great, fantastic information on their channel. So please go check them out. And welcome, Mal. I hope you and Ben and the girls are well. It's good to see you here. So yeah, I thought that's my little sis. So be careful and protective. I thought about, moving into other preps. And when you think about moving into other preps, it makes you think, where are my holes, right? When you start doing that and you really start having a look, you notice all kinds of them, okay? Oh yeah, like so many. You would almost be ashamed of yourself. It's like, holy crap, I'm missing this. I'm missing this. I'm missing this. You know, I must be a freaking terrible prepper to be missing all these things, right? But that's not the case. You could be the best prepper in the world, you know. And to be honest with you, there's some of them in here, and I know a few others that aren't in here, right? How's your horse doing, Mal, with the infected hoof? Did the farrier come out and have a look? Oh, and cheers all. Happy Friday the 13th, 2020. Well, Laurie's cold smoking outside. I'm going to be warm smoking in here. Sorry, guys. I'm a smoker. Yeah, I'll do it on my live streams. I try and keep it out of my videos, but whichever. Sometimes I sit a while here at my lives. I'm going to have a smoke. You're still outside, Laurie. Why don't you go your ass inside? Or you like chain smoking? Or is that really just a big cigarette? You're getting viral TikTok now? I'm going to have to figure out what a TikTok is. Smoking a cigar. Cheers, Shattered. Cheers indeed. Same cigarette. Wow, that's some slow burning shit. Yeah, well, we should all quit smoking, but I'm going to smoke a chicken tomorrow, so, like, I'm not going to roll it and smoke it. Put it on the grill. Smoke faster, Laurie. Okay, so anyways, yeah. Like I said, I moved forward with my preps, started getting into more techie stuff and comms. Y'all know I'm not freaking techie at all. So I need to bolster that, and that's going to be part of my winter plan, all right? And comms is part of it. Comms should be a decent, healthy part of anybody's preps. You know, so I went there. Like I said, you move forward, you start looking into your preps, and you start seeing the holes in them and what you're lacking. Okay. And like I said, there's some freaking world-class preppers just here in the chat, right? So you guys know how easy it is to have a hole in your preps. All right. One of the best prepared people that I know, I've got something I'm going to send them. And when I do, it will come with a note that says, you know, it's a content idea note. It's an idea for a video. And what it is, I'm going to send them, is this. Now, this is a good quality old one. This is one of the ones that I have in my preps. Of course, if I had one, I wouldn't just send the only one that I had. Hell no. This is a nice, good, old one. Good quality, nice and sturdy. I would never send somebody a piece of crap. So when you think about something like that, and, you know, you're thinking grid down, do I have this power thing, that power thing, da-da-da-da-da. Well, what about the manual things, right? What about the simpler things? Take electricity right out of it. You know, say no power bank ever works again, or any solar thing like that, right? What do you do to beat your eggs? Well, you can use a whisk. That's faster, but oh, you got one of those too? Yeah, they're cool and they work great. You know, take no electricity. You know, you can take it out to the cabin or down by the river, whatever, and you know, get your thing going on. Coffee bean grinder, okay, that's good. Flea market for old tools, yeah, that's cool. I hit the flea market there last weekend. Got myself some combat boots. Another backup set. Yet another prep, right? Like you need your boots. Whisks are vital for whipped coffee. Yeah, for sure. For scrambled eggs, for like mixing up a cake, or however, one of the best prepared people I know in the entire community, I know for a fact, does not have that in their preps. So I'm going to send it to them, and once they get it, hopefully maybe they'll make a video out of it. I don't know. It's not up to me. It's entirely up to them. Manual can opener. Just bought another one yesterday, Southern Prepper Boy. 3 is 2, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Absolutely. Fish antibiotics. You know what? 101. You guys can get those down stateside. Up here in Canada, we got to go to the vet for that and get the script. Why? Because they need the frickin' money, right? It's all about the Benjamins. Hand saws, hand pumps. I wish I had more hand pumps. I do have a number of hand saws. Manual food chopper. I call that a knife and a cutting board. I've got 6 cutting boards just on my counter. Like 6. Is that too much, or? Brian Kelly, welcome. That's too many? Washing clothes without power. Yeah, you could probably use like an old butter churn, the kind you sort of like the plunger style. You could probably use one of those to wash clothes in. You got 4 cutting boards on your counter, Mal? That's awesome. You can never have enough. There's different shapes and sizes for different things, right? But yeah, here it is, guys. How prepared are you? Are you sure you're prepared? This is just a little reminder to let you know, doesn't matter how well prepped you are, you missed something. And it may not be this. Colin, welcome. If anyone doesn't know Kincaid Outdoors, that's my buddy Colin. And if you want to know anything about archery, he's your guy. He owns an archery range. He's does longbows, recurves. Typically the stuff that is more traditional stuff rather than compound stuff. I'm not discrediting him from compound at all. I'm sure he knows well about that. You got bow questions, go ask Kincaid Outdoors. Welcome, Colin, and happy Friday the 13th, 2020 to you. This is an open chat. So let's go ahead and open it up. You guys can chat amongst yourselves, or if anybody has any kind of question, please put your questions in all capitals so it's easier for me to see them. Old Spice, welcome. Good to see you in here. Happy Friday the 13th to you. Cheers if you happen to partake, and if you don't happen to partake, cheers. So if anyone's got questions about me or what I'm doing, insofar as my preps go, what my plans are, if you want to share your plans, do I own a hand crank meat slicer? It's called a knife. Colin, that's my hand crank meat slicer. It's a decent chef's knife, sharpened by a stone and steel, and that's what I'll use to slice my meat. I don't happen to own a hand crank, one that has a wheel on it, like to make slices of, say, deli meats or anything like that. Am I doing anything different for COVID? No, you know what? Basically, they've got it dictated here. Certain number of gatherings, either indoors or outdoors, the number's different, either inside or outside. In any store, anywhere, there's no entry without a mask. That's what has been mandated. You don't like it, you're not going in the store. There's a certain number of people allowed inside a store based on the frickin' square footage. So there's people at the door holding people outside, waiting for others to come out, one to come out to let another in, right? So they can control that number of people that are inside the stores, right? Everyone stood in the lines wearing a mask. Everyone inside the store is wearing a mask. Am I doing anything different for the bug? Well, I'm sure. Like, I've seen my kids twice this year and my folks twice this year, so I'm doing that differently. My folks for sure, and my kids just because, well, they're germaphobes and kind of shut-ins to begin with, anyways. But so I'm definitely seeing my family a lot less this year, which frickin' sucks. I'm seeing my friends a lot less, family a lot less. People just aren't getting together, and people that are getting together are getting frickin' fines if your gathering is too big. If you have a backyard party, there's over 10 people in there. You know, someone from the government may come in and drop a $800 to $5,000 fine on you for having an overly large gathering. Scrappy, I haven't seen your mom since Christmas. It's been a while since I've shot my crossbow, Colin. My current plans for Thanksgiving, Jacob, Thanksgiving is over here. I'm a Canadian. We celebrated, like 3 weeks, a month ago. We do it a lot earlier than you guys if you're down in the States or somewhere else on the globe that celebrates it at a different time. Good book recommendations. Why don't you guys just hang out for a second? I'll go get a freaking amazing book with a wicked awesome recommendation. Whoa. Holy crap. There you go. Holy shit. Yep. That stuff looks like it wants to liven up. All right, I do have some books in this room that I can recommend. However, I did want to grab a few to, just to show you. Let me just back some of this stuff off of here, off of my operating station. My operating station, by the way, is my great-great-grandfather's toolbox. He was a plumber or steam fitter, and his tools are still inside of it, and I love it. Very, very happy to be the guardian and custodian of it for now. Okay, recommended books. This is going to be one of them. Looks backwards to me. Does that look backwards to you guys? Is this backwards? Not backwards? Okay, thanks, Jason. All right, so this is a medical book. This is a medical dictionary I picked up at a yard sale for I think I might have paid $5 for it, but look at the size of this. So, you need to have books on medical stuff, right? And I'm not talking about looking at videos of medical stuff. I'm talking about hard copies that you can have and refer to, so that when the tube or whatever is down, that the when the balloon goes up, you've still got something to refer to, okay? And any book in hardcover, softcover, hard copy, that you can refer to. That's hands-on information, right? Here's another one. Any type of cookbook. that you can put into your library, right? Unless you're a master chef and no, yeah, Mal, I couldn't leave that there for $5. Unless you're a master chef of one specific thing, and like Johnny's like a sushi chef, so he might not pick up a book on sushi, but and I've been to culinary school as well. However, what the heck is wrong with having a book around about comfort foods? And it's just as one of these ones that are bound with a spring in the back, and it can lay flat while you're using it and stuff like that, right? Books, guys. Have books around. Now, another great book, which I recommend very, very highly, is this book, which was a gift to me a number of years ago from my children, And to be honest with you guys, I wasn't prepping at that time. I guess I kind of was, but I wasn't calling it anything. Yeah, an Army Field Manual would be a great book. Yeah, it's a good book, Southern Boy. Yeah, they got me this beautiful hardcover one for Christmas one year, and it is filled with fantastic information. It's the Ultimate SAS Survival Guide, Extreme Scenarios, Vital Techniques, and it's by John Lofty Wiseman. If any of you guys want to look it up, I know they sell it in soft copy. I'm sure you can go online and pick it up. Or if you see it at a yard sale or flea market or something, if they're still open around you, if you see a copy of that, don't leave it where it is. Even if it's $20, right? Got some recipes, Dale? Cool. We can share. We can talk about that. All right. So that's a bunch of books there that I had to just go in the other room to get. Now all of that stuff, I keep all those books in my pantry. One of my pantries. The pantry that I keep my pots and pans in, with my cookbooks and stuff like that now, because I've been doing a lot of canning this year. Let me just grab another copy or two of what do we got going on here. Here's an entire book just on bread. Now, if you don't have a pound of yeast in your freezer or something like that right now, and at least 50 pounds of flour put back, get on it. Get yourself a bread book. Hard copy. Doesn't have to be, the hard shell. Soft shell, hard shell, whichever. But hard copy. Get a book on how to make bread. And what I got here is a couple of different varieties of, canning books. These are the Bernardin home preserving guides. Filled with tons of recipes, techniques, temperatures, timings, all that kind of stuff. And, Bernardin, before everyone goes off the wall and says, oh, ball is the only way to go, ball. Bernardin is a subsidiary of Ball. They're owned by the same company. Okay, so it's the same before anyone starts, Ball is better, Bernardin is better. Just don't lay that shit on my channel. It's all the same thing, right? Get your canning stuff on. Even better, if you can find like antique books on canning and preserving, you'll find recipes in there that may be lost recipes kind of deal, recipes you just won't see these days. Things that happened years ago, recipes that they made years ago, they're just not making these days, and it's kind of a lost art. So if you can especially get old canning and cookbooks, okay? Great books to have. So anyways, somebody asked me about books, and those ones are some of the ones that I just grabbed offhand. I got tons and tons of other books in my library. Lots of them are, recipe oriented, because I'm a food guy, right? But I've got lots of them that are on herbs, medicinal herbs, growing them in your garden, foraging for them, things like that. Now, speaking about foraging for wild food and herbs and things like that, I want to refer back to Quebec Homestead. There was a gentleman I met in there called Mark, and Mal, what's Mark's? Can you post up a link for Mark's Mark's channel? It's something and wild edibles. And the first time I ever met Mark was on Quebec Homestead, Mallory's live stream. Which one is Mark? It's something and wild edibles. What the frick is Mark's YouTube name? Oh, you got to go, Mal? Okay. All right. We'll get to it another time. No worries. But anyways, one of the first times I met Mark, Rolling Homestead and wild edibles. Now this guy's huge. He's like 6'5", 6'8". He's the size of a pinball. He's a big fella. He goes out and he does winter challenges. The first time I ever met the guy was on one of Quebec Homestead's live streams, and I was fairly new to her channel at the time as well, and they were having a live open discussion where they had, I think, 5 guests on the panel, and they were having an open discussion about wild edibles. And man, that was one of the most informative hours I had ever seen in my life. Just absolutely amazing. Just some amazing channels everywhere. The information that you can learn from all kinds of people, whether they got big channels, small channels, a video that has 5 hits or 5 million hits. You can find a video that's got 5 hits and just packed full of information, right? Thank you, Colin. Same to you, brother. Is that Mark's channel, Lady K? Rolling Homestead? Hillbilly, yeah, I dehydrate the hell out of a bunch of stuff. I think I've probably got 15 pounds of dehydrated mushrooms in jars right now. I got a bunch of dehydrated tomatoes waiting to turn into a powder, a bunch of dehydrated Swiss chard. I've got some peppers. I didn't get any onions done this year, but I definitely want to make a smart thing to dehydrate is a blend of carrots, celery, and onion, and or peppers. That's kind of your mirepoix or your holy trinity, depending if you're cooking in the south or whatever. That's your base of any soup or sauce or stew. Okay, I see CB in here. Welcome. Hello to everyone I hadn't seen yet or said hello to. I've been busy rambling on. Josh, I see you there. Welcome. So that's for Rolling Homestead, Lady K? Work Hard and Prep Harder used to be Lady Kickboxer, and I just hadn't been able to forget her former name. So you go get your family on now. Life before anything. Okay. Hope you and Ben and the girls stay safe. Okay. I want to talk to you soon now. Maybe we'll have a chance over the weekend if you get a free moment in the afternoon. Inside Kate's Kitchen, absolutely great channel. She does a great live stream on Sunday afternoons. Jacob A, pretty much absolutely none. Except for people are starting to get bitchy. People are starting to feel it. I was in a grocery store the other day, and you're not even allowed to walk up to line up to the cash out. You got to line up way over there, and you got to kind of wait to be called, right? once the cashier is free, because someone has to get the groceries off the belt, get the hell out of the way before you can put yours on and get your thing done to keep your distance, right? All right. So I got called up to cash number 4, and I got up there, and I didn't have many items. I had maybe 8 items just in a basket. And, the lady that was working the cash there, I got up to the cash, and I said, "Hi, how you doing?" And she was pretty short with me, right? And she wasn't short with me. There wasn't any forward interaction at all. Just as much as she needed to do, and that's it. A little bit kind of short. And, she was kind of halfway through ringing my items up, and, I asked her if she was okay. And she stopped, and she sighed a little bit, right? She said, "Well, the guy that just cashed out ahead of you, he was pretty sarcastic, and kind of being mean a little bit, right?" So I tried to soothe her a little bit, and said, "Oh, I'm sorry about that, and I hope your day improves. Like, this situation has all of us on edge, and some people can be a-holes, but they don't really need to be. If you just try a little, you don't need to be, right? You can be nice to someone and help lighten their day." So I had a nice little chat with the grocery store at the lady cashing me out at the grocery store, and by the time I left, I saw her spirit had come up. You know what I mean? So it only takes a few words to do things like that. But that's sort of how it's affecting people up here. People are more on edge. We're done with it as much as anyone else is. It's just going on and on and on, and we're sick of it, right? Who doesn't want that to be over? We all want it to be over, right? You like those rocket stove videos, Tommy? Cool. I might go out and make my morning coffee on that there tomorrow. Have a nice morning-side chat beside the rocket stove. What's looking like a cable TV cable? I got something on my head? What's... That's exactly it, Roots. A little kindness goes an awful long way. What time will I do that? I can't make a guarantee on that, Southern Boy. On the weekends, I tend to sleep in. I've never really been your crack of dawn kind of guy. If I could stay up late and sleep late, I'd take every chance I possibly could. Who's thinking about Alaska Prepper for what? Alaska Prepper, by the way, if you guys don't know him, he's great. Like, how can you not know Alaska Prepper? I won't be doing a live Southern Boy. If I do a morning coffee video, I'll probably just film it and then post it after, because, well, my camera only runs for 15 minutes. My camera I record videos on. So if it takes my pot longer than 15 minutes to boil, just shit out of luck, you're going to be looking at a non-boiling pot for 15 minutes, right? So yeah, if I do that, I'll just put it up like early afternoon or something like that. I'll just call it morning coffee by the rocket stove or something like that. So who is skilled in shooting rifles? Colin? Oh, okay. Hang on a second. I want to address what Prepper 101 just asked here for a second. So please bear with me, guys. Carry on with yourselves in the chat. Try not to ask too many questions or whatever while I'm addressing what Prepper 101 asked here, because I just won't see it. Okay, guys? Unless you want to ask it a second time after or whatever. But okay. So what Prepper 101 is asking, if shit hits the fan soon, do I think it will be isolated like it has been so far this year, or will it be widespread? Okay. My answer to you, one-on-one on that, is it will be both. It'll be widespread, but it won't be widespread everywhere. It'll be widespread, but confined to like pockets. You know what I mean? Pocket here, pocket here, pocket here, not the whole area. That's what I believe. Now, who knows? If things get isolated here, here, and here, and the numbers still go up everywhere else, and everyone says, screw it, we're not listening to the rules about your gathering numbers or anything like that, and everyone goes into, smashes into each other at Walmart or in a backyard party or weddings or whatever, and then the numbers explode, who knows? Maybe they will lock down the big area. I don't know. I can't say. There's already, I saw a flash of news, and it was just a headline. No snow here yet. It was just a flash of a headline that I saw. And it was about Canada. It was on some Google format, and it said, this is why the short total lockdown in Canada won't work. That's all I saw. That was the headline. So, you know what that tells me? Well, it tells me a few things. Just look at the title. What do you have within the title? You have lockdown. You have short lockdown won't work. People that are in the news, that are paid to put out the news, the public forum, they don't really speculate. They kind of tell you what's going to happen. Just the same way as when all this bug business started going on, and President Trump started going live every day and this and that, and toward the end of all of his daily afternoon live streams, he started saying things. As soon as he started to say we're doing a very, very good job, and he started saying things toward the end of that, right? All right. He wasn't saying, I am going to do this. He was making a suggestion, which tells you, well, what happened a week later or 2 weeks later? He did that, right? If you go back and you have a look, that's just the way it is, and that's the way it is with how media operates too. They hint to you a couple of weeks or a week ahead what's going to happen next week if they already know. So, maybe widespread long lockdowns are going to be a thing. I don't know. It's a shot in the dark. I'm speculating. I'm not telling you guys what I think is going to happen. I'm just trying to share with you guys what I read in the news and what I read out of the news, or any other information for that matter, if there's any truth to it. You'll be your own judge of what's true and what's not true, especially these days with all the shit that's out there, right? All right, I know I missed a whole bunch of questions in the chat. Sorry about that. I was busy rambling on, answering 101's questions, so I apologize. If you had something you wanted to ask, please go ahead and do that. Yes, Colin, that's one of the reasons why I want a recurve. They're wicked easy to shoot, ammo's reusable, silent. All right, let me ask you this, Prepper 101. What's your take on the matter? And please put your answer in all capitals. Any that answer and any other questions out there, I'd like them in capitals, please, so I can see them. It helps me out, right? You're on your way, Gina? All right, stay well and safe. Got to work in the morning. Have a good safe day tomorrow, Gina. And thank you for joining us. All right, I just want to read this what Prepper 101 here is sharing. He thinks, he or she thinks, there will be guerrilla tactics with quick attacks, cause chaos. They will inflict major harm and move out. They don't have enough manpower to attack everywhere. All right, UP standing. Well, I know both boys and girls that do that, but whatever. Uh, all right, I just want to go back and reread, refer to what you said there. Okay, there will be guerrilla tactics with quick attacks. Okay, who's going to be the attacking party? That's just what I'm looking for. Who you think will be the attacking party? Do you think it'll be our own governments? Do you think it'll be rogue factions like BLM, or who's the bad guy with the guerrilla attacks? Or do you think it's going to be like one area attacking another area because the lockdowns are so hard? These areas are going to be out of food and they're going to try and steal each other's food. I'm not sure exactly I get what you're trying to say, but I'm wondering the who part. If you have an idea in your mind, who you think the who might be. It's just not feasible to do, Paul. It's too far north. Not enough hours of sunlight. You possibly could do it with if you've got a wood stove in your greenhouse, if it's big enough to accommodate a wood stove. I've worked in greenhouses in my past that were big enough. They had a wood stove at either end of them. Freaking huge greenhouses, and they did do some things through the winter, but very limited, just due to the limited daylight hours. Okay. Now you could probably augment that with some type of multi-spectrum lighting system, but I'm not your go-to guy on that. The ground freezes rock hard for months on end, so you can't really grow it in the ground. But a greenhouse scenario possibly, but it would have to be like a super greenhouse. Okay. Oh, the Antifa and BLM. Okay, well, kind of seems like they're doing that already with the riots that have taken place. To me, it kind of seems like that. It doesn't seem to be. It doesn't seem to be like the riots. To me, there's been demonstrations, and then there's been full-on chaos. Right? Angry's been right down in the middle of it. He's got vid himself, which is fantastic images, brother. Wow. Good on you for grabbing that. But okay, so people that protest that we've seen, at least this year, it's been pretty much peaceful. A peaceful protest and burning, looting, riots are two completely different things, right? You think the left will increase the violence with firearms and explosives? Well, that's very possible. So we should prepare for that. We should prepare to not be stupid enough to be found in locations where they're going to go ahead and do that. Part of your situational awareness, right? Be aware enough to find yourself not in a fricked up situation that's going to get your ass blown up, right? Or do you go out and buy all the body armor you possibly can and all the ARs you can strap onto yourself, and you walk down in there to try and either A, defeat them, or B, join them, whichever way your view goes. Avoid the shit. If there's a hole in the floor, in the ground in front of me, that's like about this deep, and I look at it and I can see I'm going to break my ankle if I step in it, guess what? I avoid that frickin' hole every single chance I get, right? If you can have the situational awareness to be present of mind enough to avoid a situation, that'll serve you better, you know? Agent provocator will be used to take firearms. No, they'll use anything they can to take firearms. Yeah, listen to your gut, Tabitha, but you have to listen to it, right? Oh, there goes Colin suggesting Bose. Listen to him. He knows his stuff. Good takedown bow. I want one. I should probably listen to that too. Do I have a backup source of heat for my home? Just an emergency one. And you know what? To be honest with you, Janet, a friend of mine here on YouTube, he's a fellow prepper, and he produces videos. He put out a video today that made me think about more resources for home heating in a down situation. And to be honest, we're headed with to cold weather right now. So, and his name is Wild Willie. You guys may have seen him in the chats before, in the live chats. If you guys don't know Wild Willie, I think right now he's on a 24-hour imposed, self-imposed shutdown to test out his shit. You know, he's got his power shut off and he's got his water shut off. So I think he's testing out some of his home heating devices right now, like this weekend as we speak. Because I have to comment on his video earlier, and I haven't heard shit from him back yet. So they're in a grid down scenario enactment to test out their preps right now. And he's one of the guys I'm actually looking at trying to establish a complete comms network around, first of all, Lake Ontario, secondarily, around all Great Lakes, thirdly, throughout both of our countries, and then, you know, we'll go global after that. So that's what I got in my mind. That's what I got for plans. Oh yeah, people that are looking for a target will definitely go to places, you know, where you know, they'll go to a hockey arena that's full, or you know, like for sure. It's a really tough question, David Lee. And to be honest with you, you don't really hear me speculate a lot. Like I'm not a soothsayer. I can't see the future. You know, don't ask me when the shit is going to hit the fan, because I don't know when it is. Fuck, it's already hit the fan. You know. You on your way, Joyce? Thanks for joining. It was good to see you. Thank you again for joining us. William Ashley Mars Ares. You live on Lake Erie, Tracy. Okay, well, do you know what? Get your comms on, because we need to establish comms networks, right? Not just around the lakes, but everywhere. And it's going to kind of be a bit of a link, a line of sight type deal, right? Until, like, if you're using portable handheld devices, it'll be more line of sight. The better and better systems we get, you know, we can broadcast further and further. So We need to get our comms on. I missed something with upstate housewife. You on your way, Hillbilly? All right, get your overtime on. Keep your preps on, okay? Good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining us. Nose picking, I will not be dancing in the late hours. I got up early this morning to go to work. I got to work. There was no frickin' work to do. As some of you guys know, I'm in the residential construction industry. I got to work, and there was nothing ready for me to do. I said, all right, frig it. I'm not even pulling my tools out of the car. I'm leaving. I'll be back on Monday. I got a call from my boss as I was pulling in the driveway. He's like, yeah, don't bother showing up Monday. It's not going to be ready then either. It's like, well, shit. So I got a bit of time on my hands to get some preps on. Jason, Angry Prepper, are you still in the house, or did your wife kick you off already? If you're still in the house, Jason, and you're wondering what to can, I'll put up a video for this weekend about canning, just like dried beans, kidney beans. Oh, did he? Oh, well, shit, I didn't see him go. I must have been busy rambling. That's all right. I'll put the video up anyways. Yeah, his wife wanted him off earlier when he was ending his stream, so I totally get that. You got to have balance there, right? What skill do I want to learn or am working on? Well, Christina, okay, you've seen me just starting to get my comms back on. That's a skill I need to fully rebolster, okay? So comms is definitely one of them. Like I do have a background in it, and but that was 25 years ago. The equipment isn't even the same these days, like not even close. So it's like a completely different thing. He said goodbye. Well, shit. Now I feel like an ass. You on your way, Scrappy? Thank you for joining us. It was good to see you. Get your sleep on, and I hope you have a fine weekend. What other skills would I like to know more about? Wow, dang. You know, we could really get into it. I mean, think of all the genres of things that you don't do as a prepper, right? Like me, I'm not tooting my own horn here or not. I'm just going to try to share with you what some of my skill sets are. I grew up on a farm. That helps me know an awful lot about mechanical things, hydraulic things, constructing buildings. I work in construction. I've been to culinary school. I'm a military veteran. I have a comms background. Know some gardening, canning, pickling, things like that. I can do some a bit more medical stuff than the average person could do. Exactly, Colin. Too many skills you don't know to try and like pick one out. I'll get an idea once I get my comms. I'm just starting to get working into get my comms going right now. I'll frig with that for a while I continue with the food and the pickling and canning. Get ready for next year's garden, and come winter, once I got my comms on, I'll nerd out on that hard for a while, but I'll definitely jump into another skill set. Some of those are going to be techie things. Like what I am going to be doing this winter is working on my techie stuff so I can work on my channel a little bit more. Okay, so that's tech, I'll have to say. But that's sort of in conjunction with like this webcam. with this ham radio, things like that. I'm bolstering my tech already, right? I don't just say I'm going to do it. If I say I'm going to do something, guess what? It happens like this week or next week. If I start asking questions about something, means I'm obviously interested in it. And if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Do I think the world will ever go back to normal like before this buggy thing? No, I do not. I believe, well, maybe at one time, but possibly not in our lifetimes. It's gonna be changed severely for a very, very long time. People will resist it, but they'll get used to the idea, and that's part of the overall conditioning. You know what I mean? Will the people revolt? I believe so, but I don't think it'll happen for a long time. You know what, Ronan? I'm a fair shot myself, or at least when I was trained, I was. Yeah, I'd like to do a lot more long range shooting myself. 77 thumbs up and 62 watchers. Wow, thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Are there any thumbs down? I hope so. Oh, the live theaters. Well, yeah, Lori Austin. She works down in New York City in the theaters. She does set dressing, costume making, things like that. Downtown New York, right? So she's been out of a job since it's been an awfully freaking long time. And yeah, she sure does hope they've been opening up. Now, some of the movie theaters have been opening up, and I think we talked about that a month or so ago, Lori, but that does freaking nothing for you. A thumbs down. Woo! All right, Christy, thank you. William, one thumbs down. Awesome. Upstate housewife. What do you do if you can't get medication? You research the frick out of your medicinal herbs and such now. Keep hard copies. Keep books on hand to which you can refer. Go out and learn it now. Learn how to make things that can help you before there comes a situation where you can't help yourself. Like for myself, I do make medication for myself and others. And it's to help a lot of things. Pain, hunger, glaucoma, a lot of things. I use cannabis to do it. You know, a lot of people will shit on me for that because it's still pretty divided about the yay cannabis, nay cannabis. But, you know, everyone's legalizing it anyways. But yeah, I've been making my own medicine for a few years now. And I turned cannabis into gummy worms to help people with pain that don't like to smoke that shit. Because personally, I think it stinks and I don't like it. It makes me cough. I don't want that. Don't like it. And if I ever use it myself, personally, like I have, which seems to be pretty much a permanent neck and shoulder injury. There's a nerve in there somewhere. It's going freaky. So I combine a bit of cannabis, maybe 4 times a year, 3 times, 4 times a year. If it's really bad, I'll combine that with some ancient like fire cupping therapy, negative massage. And it's a good barter item, absolutely. If you can make medicine, if you've got medicine as a barter item, yes. Colin, did she, when she was going through chemo and using the cannabis, was she using it for pain or to help her appetite or anything in specific or just for overall wellness? Cannabis grew well in my backyard. We're allowed to grow 4 plants of it up here. It's legal to do. You don't need a permit of any kind. Oh, for nausea. Yes, it will help. Definitely help with nausea, and it will help if you have a suppressed appetite. as well if someone's not eating. If you administer a bit of cannabis for that. I've heard good things about Kratom, Tabitha, and I've also heard mixed results, from boots on the ground people taking it. So I can't say myself. I don't know because I haven't taken any to try it. So that's what I have to say about that. Oh, well, shit, Colin. Sorry, man. They opened up some drive-in theaters up here. Sydney? You on your way, Tracy? Okay, well, thanks so much for joining us. That happens, Tracy. It's quite all right. It's quite all right. I'm not going to ramble on a whole lot longer anyways myself. I got a whole bunch of videos I need to go see that some of y'all have posted, right? Try and get my Friday relax on. I've been moderating and catching up with comments on chat and trying to get my frickin' rig up and running here. I've been busy since I was off today, and I've been frickin' busier all day here than when I'm working. Prep your stead, night all. Stay well and safe. You take Kratom every day instead of opiates? Well, that's what I've done with the cannabis is gotten a lot of people off of opiates. Cannabis, a hot tub, and sometimes fire cupping can help as well, depending on what condition it is you're trying to treat. With the fire cupping and the hot tub, it'll help more with musculoskeletal conditions. Don't turn on your radio without the antenna connected, if you don't know that. That's what it said in the handbook. Here. Kimmy's not going to call you Colin. It's not Colin, it's Colin. It's spelled Colan. It's pronounced Colin. Not Colin. Colin. It didn't work. Hey. I'm still calling Lady Kickboxer. Doesn't matter how many times she changes her name. Calibrate. Hey, I still got to get the thing to fire up. I need my buddy upstairs to come down with his meters and testers and such to see if I've got power. Maybe my connections aren't good. I don't know. Yeah, I think CBD could help someone with arthritis. Yes, I do. Is there an animal rescue place near me? Yes, I think there is. But Lori, don't you go pushing me on getting a kitten just because you want to see a kitten, okay? I'll get one when I'm ready. You on your way, Roots? Roots of Happiness, thank you so much for joining us. It was good to see you here. Hope you stay well and safe. It's not going to last that long, Nose, but I appreciate that. I do. It's quite all right. To be honest with you, that's the most viewers I've ever had in any chat. So to me, it's a win. And I think, usually when I have a chat, there's been kind of 40 people in there. To me, that's a success. For this one, lots of people, freaking great. Yeah, it's a nice old couch for sure, Tabitha. Yeah, like to have 70 some thumbs up and 60 odd people in the chat, freaking awesome. Double win. Now, when I've had chats previous, there's 30, 40 people in there, I'd look at the numbers the next day and it'd be like 300 or 400 views. 250 to 350, sometimes 400 views on a chat. I think this one might do a bit better. I'm not totally concerned about the numbers at all. I'm more concerned about sharing the information, but it's cool to see the numbers. Don't get me wrong, right? All right. Night, Nikki. You stay well and safe. Good to have seen you here in the chat this evening. And yes, have yourself a good weekend. Yeah, CBD for fibro, even edible THC, whatever you're comfortable with, or what's legal where you are. Like, I don't know where everyone is, and not everything's legal everywhere, right? You came here from Angry, Shattered. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I really do. Thanks for joining us. All right, so it's getting late. It's midnight here. Happy Friday the 13th, everyone. It is no longer Friday the 13th. Doesn't really matter, but I mean, like, if you guys have some more questions or things you'd like to suggest or whatever, we can go on for a bit more. Otherwise, I can get my chill on and like smash a meatball sandwich into my face and put my feet up, or we can keep talking if you guys got something to say. 54 still watching. Well, no shit. All right, you on your way, Southern Boy? Night, Marie. Night. Do I own any of the Foxfire books? I don't happen to, Colin, no. How long can I stay home without leaving? Well, thank you for asking that, because that's a question I've been asking myself over the last couple of days. I've been banging hard at food for all year. And I haven't been going at it like nuts. I'm on a limited budget. I'm a single guy. I got to pay for myself, my place, everything myself, and I don't make $50,000 a year type deal. You know what I mean? So I got to kind of do it on the slow. I would have to say I'd really be scratching at the doors to get out and get some more things into my preps or some other types of food sources after. Well, I'd be good and comfortable for at least 6 months, at least. Your friend is a blacksmith there? You have the first 4 books? Do you know what, Colin? I'm going to have to join you on. Sorry I missed your live last night. We need to talk about that on one of your lives so that like you can show, like what you're up to, that kind of shit, right? You don't know where to get CBD in Ontario? You just go online, Julie. But like there's cannabis stores all over the place opening in Ontario, and like you can just order it from them, or you can walk into the store and just buy it. Yes, William Ashley Sprouts. Yes, I got a few pounds of that. Now, what are those Foxfire books, Colin? Can you describe them a little bit? Uh, are they like fictional books? Or are they bushcraft books? Are they archery books? Sorry, I'm skipping a bit of the chat here, guys. I'm trying to follow what Colin's talking about because I'm curious about those books. I'm gonna get ban hammered. Uh-oh. What do we do? Balefang handheld is a fine lower end handheld model. It's not your it's not an excellent product. Oh, okay, Colin. Do you know what? If you've got a link to where people can find out about these books or the series of them, could you please go ahead and post that, Colin? All right, hang on a second. Things are bouncing around. Uh, where did you post that, William? Because only moderators can post links on a live chat. It's not just this live chat; it's any live chat. Just thank you, Colin. You on your way, Lori? Night night. Get a flea bag on your head. Yeah, I see that, Colin. Thank you. Okay, so the link you posted is where you can get hard copies. They just opened one downtown here in my little town, um, and you'll never guess where it is. All right, our local member of parliament's storefront office is right there. The door right next beside to it is the door to the cannabis store. I wonder if they may happen to own it or have something to do with it. Money breeds money. Cannabis will always sell. In bad times, it'll sell more, and in good times, people have money and they'll buy it more. So, like, I mean, it's like a no lose situation. Kind of like pawn shops, you know. Pawn shops do well when things are thriving because people have money to buy stuff. And when things are bad, pawn shops do well because people pawn everything, you know. You can email me some of the copies. You may be talking a little over my pay grade, Colin. The Shattered Ankle, Colin is asking about what that breakdown bow was again. Why don't you put a link to that? Grown Up Girl Scout, thanks so much for joining us. It's good to see you in the chat tonight. Hope you stay well and safe, and have a fantastic weekend, okay? You shouldn't really need to order it from the bookstore. You just be able to go to the website or Amazon. You shouldn't have to leave your couch, really. Ronan returns. Let me tell you something. Everything is recorded everywhere at all times. Just so you know. Everything. I can't do that, Willard. I was a comms guy in the military. I'm just starting to jump back into it now, and I can't even get my rig to power up. Who records the recorders? Yes, indeed, William. Who does? Oh, thanks, Colin. That's great. Will and Ashley, I'm going to answer who records the recorders by saying, well, who do you think? Take your first guess, then think about it. No, I'm not licensed. Part of my plan was to operate it just in one-way communications for the time being until I am licensed. No, Spicken, can't you have the authorities do something about that, or have some legal action taken to protect your property? Maritime. Maritime. Advanced and basic with honors of what, Willem? Please, if you'd share with others so we can understand. Okay, well, comms is what my military career was 25 years ago. So I already have the basic foundation. I just kind of need to know what the updated shit is. I can do the crash course in 24 hours and go get whichever level of license. It's not a matter of not knowing. It's a matter of not being current with current regulations and current equipment. I would love to have the equipment I used to work with. I'll tell you that. Would love it. I'm just looking to get the rig that I just bought. I'm just trying to get it powered up to see if I can turn it on, figure out how it works, figure out the new techie stuff, and yeah, I got to Google how to take the course in Canada. Maybe I do it from my couch here, or if I got to go somewhere, I don't know. Well, had I continued my career there, I would have been the tester. All right, hang on a second. I got to check out a link Colin just posted. Well, what's that link for there, Colin, before I bust out on it? I'm in the middle of a chat here right now. They always visit you at your home. Okay. Well, William, do you think I'm going to let a stranger into my home with all this shit that's going on? I don't know. They're going to have a mask on? They're going to stay 6 feet away? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I can't click on that right now, Colin. Yeah, exactly. No kidding, right? Could do it on the porch, out in the backyard. Sure. Over Skype, Zoom, this forum. Christy Betts. Yes. Very interesting. That's what ULF and UF and ULF is for. VLF, ULF. I will call him. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's right there in the chat. I can refer to it anytime I want to. Thank you, Colin. Yeah, you got to be on certain frequency spectrums to catch the subs, and that's your ultra low frequencies is how they broadcast typically, at least while they're submerged. The VLF or ULF. Now, they don't even talk about low frequency in most ham type operations. Do they, William? $800 miles south of Chicago. We might be able to secret prepper. Like once I get my shit sorted out, like I haven't even got my system powered up yet, or I haven't built an antenna. It depends on what kind of antenna I have, what kind of antenna you have, if we're using towers to bounce it off, whichever, or if we could be building a network, talk through the network. You know what I mean? Or the modern technology, you can talk through Digi. So, like, there's lots of different ways you can do it, right? Hi, Southern Belle. Do I have a favorite type of rucksack? You have a surplus Alice pack, and you like it. Do you know what? I like the pack that carries my shit. I'm not the guy that's into your fanciest, most going out and getting all of the most expensive freaking things you could possibly get. The best, most expensive knife. Not about that. I do shit on the cheap, right? I'll get one knife, a good sturdy knife that I know can hold an edge, and I can beat the shit out of it. And I'll take it out into the woods and I'll beat the shit out of it, and then I'll sharpen it. It doesn't have to be a $800 or $1,000, $2,000, whatever. Hello, Jane W. Welcome. Okay, I'm hearing you on that there, Sydney. Like, I probably have more knowledge when it comes to comms than many people who do ham. It's just my knowledge is 25 years behind me. I need to catch that shit back up, refresh it, and come up to what current equipment is, right? As far as for me, like when it goes to prepping, you guys don't see me going out and buying buckets and buckets and buckets full of freeze dried foods that'll last 25 years. Like that's your extreme long term storage stuff, and that's cool. But I'm doing 25 year stuff like beans and rice, shit like that, right? I think that if the shit hits the fan, and if we haven't figured out how to get any meat to put into our diet 25 years from now, we're all fucked anyways, right? Pardon my language. I don't need the fanciest bag. I don't need the fanciest knife. I don't need the fanciest comms. If I know how to use what I have, I'm good. You know? That's what everyone should be doing, anyways. Learn to use what you've got. Because if somebody flipped a switch right now, you've got what you've got, and that's it. You could be making plans to go and get the best this or the best that, but whatever you've got when the balloon goes up, right? So learn how to use what you've got. And I don't care if it's a shitty bag. If it's a good bag and my Sawyer Mini is in it, then great. If it's a shitty bag and my Sawyer Mini is still in it, great. I don't care if I beat it up a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I'm not crapping on having good gear, but if you want to spend your money on having good gear, like that's cool if you've got the money to throw at it. Personally, I like to spread my money out. I like to take my money and multiply it, you know, by buying dried beans and canning them, growing vegetables, making pasta sauce out of it, canning that shit, right? Making my own booze at 70% less than what it costs to buy. Use this, not necessarily this. Don't get me wrong, guys. There's nothing wrong with using money to prep. But if you can use this to stretch this, then you'll get more of this. You know what I mean? It'll help your preps go longer and farther and further, right? That's just my own personal mindset. Like I don't make a whole ton of money. I'm not rolling bank. So I got to prep on the cheap. So what? Screw it. I go to the dollar store and buy some flashlights. I don't need the best tactical flashlight for frickin' $300 or whatever that Olight sells. Don't get me wrong. Not like I wouldn't like to test one, try one, or have one. But for me, I can do a lot more with that $300 than buy one flashlight. You know what I mean? Like a lot more. You know how many preps you can buy for $300? Holy crap. You kidding me? All right. Prep wisely, spend wisely. Very, very well articulated, Southern Belle. Thank you. Survival is not a fashion show. If I got a, $1.50 8x8 blue tarp from the dollar store, and it keeps me dry from the rain, and you got a $600 one, and you get a tear in it, be smart. Know what you know how to do. Learn what you don't know how to do. Which, like that's the journey we're all on. Nobody knows everything, right? So we all have to learn as we go. And we can learn how to do it without the most expensive gear, or we can learn how to take our money and spread it out the most we can to get the maximum amount of preps out of it. Now, here's something that's problematic too. All right, everyone talks about their bag, their bag, their bag, their bug bag, their bug out bag, their go bag. Okay, fine, perfect, fantastic. However, I'm not going to throw a whole lot into mine. Why? Because I don't want to carry that frickin' heavy ass thing too far. Right? Do you? How well are you conditioned to carry a 60-pound go bag for 10 miles? You on your way, Sydney? All right. Well, don't fall on the floor. Get into bed, man. Stay well and safe, brother. How well are you conditioned to carry a fully stocked bug out bag? Right? Seriously, throw a case of water on your back and take a walk around a block, or 2 blocks, or 10 blocks, whatever whatever suits your condition. Most people won't make it around the block. Most people won't make it to the end of the block and back, to be honest. Right? Well, Colin, I've seen your build. And you're like, you're a big meat sack full of muscle, brother. You got the structure to carry that. 75 pounds. Yeah, wasn't Mark doing it with like a 90-pound pack with all of his gear out in through the winter? And all his filming gear and all that shit, too. That's what you have to think about, Grace. Do you stock so much preps at home that if you have to bug out, like, I mean, if the nuke goes off and you got a GTFO, you're hardly taking frig all with you, right? Janet, night, stay well and safe, hon. The Colin to carry yours. All right, that's funny. Christy's being a dick. Just a little bit, though. She's being funny. No way I could carry all my preps with me. I would like to have, in my bug out bag, one of the things I don't have is I don't have any freeze-dried foods. Right? That'd be a couple of cool things to have in there for a bit of a supply, just because it's like pour hot water in, wait, and you're kind of done, to my understanding. Or put it in a pot and boil it, whatever, right? To my understanding, that's the case. So for the convenience of it, and, clandestine cooking or cooking on the down low, if you can just throw some boiling water into a pouch of food, zip it back up and wait a while, then all that smell of cooking is not going around, and you can remain candid, right? Doggy freeze-dried treats. Okay, cool. That's actually something I'm going to look into, William. Thank you. Because I did do a video about long-term food storage for pets. So I will be checking that out. Just at my local dollar store. Whether they have everything that every other dollar store has, I have no idea. What was Chris Eaton up to? Timed out? Stood in the corner? Been bad? It pretty much is the same as human stuff. And, William, if you go have a look at my video called Long Term Food Storage for Pets, something like that, you will say that in there I say it's food. Treat it like food for how you store it, right? How you prepare it and how you store it, right? Dollarama. Okay, seriously. You know what? I don't have a pet, so I don't spend a lot of time in the pet food aisle, but I'm sure going to go check it out. Thank you for that, William. I'm definitely going to go look at that. Dollar Tree even. Okay, yeah, we got one of those here too. Calling me names. Was he calling? All right, well, thank you for, standing them in the corner. Yeah, any moderators in here, if there's someone acting up or whatever, just get rid of them. We don't need them here. I'm not concerned about the numbers that much that I'm willing to have that person in here and put up with that crap. Thank you, but no. Sydney, on your way. Stay well and safe, brother. Have yourself a fine weekend, okay? Rotom returns. Yeah, that's pretty much what you're looking at. You want a good 3-day coverage, okay? Very, very good point. Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that, Colin. You know what? That's one of the reasons why you're a moderator on here. Not to mention, you're a good bud of mine, so. All right. So if we've got any more questions, we'll go ahead and address them now. If not, what we'll do right now is for anyone who's here remaining in the chat, I'm going to ask you guys a question. What did you guys all do to prep this week? And it can be the short answer, long answer, whichever. Curious what everyone did to prepare this week. What did you add to your your preps, your food storage, if you're doing any canning, anything like that? Oh, Colin, first of all, I need to power my shit up before I head into power down situations for the comms. And that is somewhere I'm going to go, for sure. But I need to get power to it first before I worry about losing power. Yeah, call him the bouncer. Call him Robin Hood. Food. You prepped food? Cool. But buckets and lids? Now, do you have rice to go in those buckets and lids? All right. Excellent, William, for sure. Mylar sealed more beans and rice. Freaking awesome. Luke Dog, yes. Canning supplies? You got canning supplies, Jeffrey? Now, please go ahead and share with everyone where you got your canning supplies, unless you don't want everyone going there, but help a brother or sister out, because nobody can find canning supplies. I got some more last week, too, and I bought the last that they had. More vacuum sealer bags? I understand you can vacuum seal regular freezer bags. Colin, if you have a like a food saver type vacuum sealer, baking powder, cornstarch, cocoa powder, steak sauce, and spices. Steak sauce and spices? I'll be there for dinner tomorrow, Grace. Fence around your home. Fantastic prep, Jody. You bought a new small Jackery 240 solar generator. Bravo, Gene W. Wicked awesome. You also bought a Berkey for your son? Holy crap. Wow. Okay, if I give out any blue ribbons or anything like that, Gene W. gets it so far. Nice job. Canned goods, yeah, put up canned goods. I got some more canned goods this week as well. Antique stores for canning jars. I got a buddy of mine. His name is called Cooking Green Bastard Style. He's a very vulgar person. He has a YouTube channel and he just gets shit-faced and cooks and listens to heavy metal music. But he's a buddy of mine because his spirit is pure. He's okay. He's offered me like 600 canning jars for free. Freeze dryers are a little out of my league of just a little way expensive, Chris. Because, you know, for the $5,000 they'd want for one, plus all the food I have to put through it, I could probably dry can and pressure can enough stuff that I think I'd be all right. Canned strawberry jam and pineapple apricot jam. You checked your garden, cleaned out a closet to donate things, get more storage space. Atta girl, Southern Belle. All right, now that's how to do it. Gas tanks topped up. Good, good. If you need to get out of the city. Yeah, never let your gas tank get below half. Ever. Okay, so Publix had canning supplies. Fine pectin. I have some on a shelf I need to put away. Just got no jars and lids. Well, you can reuse certain things for certain things, Colin. If you're not looking at, if you're just looking at making jams and stuff like that, you can reuse certain jars for certain things. I won't officially recommend it. Like, that's not what I would do. But you can definitely sort of get around things or skirt the issue with certain storage techniques for certain items, okay? All right. Ronan Returns just just made a good comment on having done research. $500 or $800 for a freeze drying machine. All right. So you know what? Chris Eaton is saying he's thinking you can pick up a food freeze dryer for between $500 and $800. You know, if any of my mods here or Johnny on the spot, you can do the quick research and bang a link up for that. Please do so. Spaghetti for 25 cents even. 40 crunchy granola bars for $3 each. Holy crap. A 6-pack of half-gallon canning jars. That's freaking awesome. What are you putting in the half-gallon ones? I love those half-gallon ones to put rice in. Big hearts have empty bellies. Sure they do. Ronan Returns. It's called Cooking Green Bastard Style. He's a Canadian friend of mine. He cooks, and he actually has a fairly good mind as to his cooking applications. He's a very intelligent guy. He just likes to drink and get shit-faced and listen to metal and cook. And that's what he does. He can make videos about all kinds of other stuff. This guy's a train hound. He can tell you the pitch of a train whistle from 10 miles away. Loves trains. You like my couch, Jody? Are you in the market for a couch? I'm not sure. What did you? I can't tell what your links posted are there, Lady K. There's your name changed again. Yeah, I love half-gallon jars for rice. A 5-gallon bucket, that's great for tons and tons of long-term storage. But for me, that's a lot of rice to have open, you know, or to consider bartering. You know, you'd have to bring me a pickup truck to trade for a 50-pound bucket of rice. If shit gets bad, you need to bring a bass boat to trade me, kind of deal. I've heard of Lehman's, yeah. Oh, Jody. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. Do you know what? Angry Prepper is freaking awesome. Jason's the man. I love his channel. I got a couple of good laughs there tonight, actually. Just that beholding Jason doing what he does, right? I wasn't laughing at him. I was just like, oh wow, holy shit. You know, he's just funny sometimes, how he just how he rolls. And I got another laugh out of Pinball. If you guys don't know Pinball Preparedness, go check him out. Freaking fantastic channel. He's doing a series right now on interrogation, prisoner interrogation. So that's cool. That was his job in the military. So, you know, a number of years back. So very, 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 very smart and intelligent, heady guy. I like him a lot. It was a great stream. What was actually really funny was the commercials. Yes, Southern Belle. Yes, the commercials. And I kind of busted his chops on him a little bit, right? But I kind of thought of making another comment. It's like, you know what, bro? These commercials are so freaking cheesy. How lame you are at them. This might actually work. Like, to do this as a shtick, you know? Yeah, they're not cheap. They're not cheap at all. And when you start talking about Canadian dollars and shipping, you're 5K. Before you stick food in it. or something to wrap it up in. You know what I mean? So for 5K, I can put an awful freaking lot of food back before I buy a freeze dryer. Like I got a dehydrator. You dehydrate a bunch of stuff, and then oven can it. It's lasting years and years. I use oven canning for most of my beans and rice, stuff like that. Crackers, oatmeal, flour, all of that. Oven canning, guys. It's cheap. Yeah, you do have to have the jars and the lids for sure, but you're a former Army medic, Jody. Thank you for your service. Yeah, you and Colin Kincaid at Outdoors there might have an awful lot to talk about. Jody, Kincaid Outdoors, that's my buddy Colin, my moderator there. He's an archery expert, so any questions you guys got about that, or you guys can get together and swap stories about, Army medic stuff. If you's like, I just love to bring people together, and that's kind of cool. You guys got that in common. Elderberry's good, immune system. All right, so that's what you guys have done this week to prep. What are you doing tomorrow to prep? That's going to be my next question. That's going to be my final question. Okay. I want to get my chill on. Smash a meatball sandwich into my face. Put some beans in the oven to can. What's tomorrow's prep, guys? Pellet gun, nice. That's a good prep. And, because you can buy different projectiles for those. You can buy the pointed ones and such, right? You can buy different kinds of pellet guns that are supercharged, right? Newer vehicle, cool, awesome freaking prep. I hope it goes well for you, Colin. Yeah, subscribe to Pinball. You bought that in the form of potato aqua tablets? I'm gonna have to click on that link after, lady. More fence. Barbed wire. Where are you gonna put the barbed wire? You should buy clothespins and tripwires and sirens instead. Pinball Preparedness has a video on perimeter defense, how to make an alarm for that. You should seriously go check out that very, very simple system and method and way to do that. 0 day, spending time with fam. Nice, Grace. That is the best prep ever. Yeah, get your water on. You got a raise today, Colin. Congratulations. That's fantastic, brother. Awesome. Oh, potable, not potato. All right, I misread something. Sorry. Dog food. Yeah, stock up on dog food. Do you make your own and pressure can it, Christy, for long-term storage? Or make your own dried stuff and, dry it and store it up for long-term? $3.50 raise. Boom! Wow! How long were you in that office for asking for that raise? Apple butter. Or write some recipes. You want to leave recipes for your family. Yeah. Do you know what? Grandmother didn't leave hers. That's a terrible shame. That is a loss of just lineage, heritage, tradition, culture. That is a historical loss. Anybody who loses a grandmother and they didn't leave any recipe books, uh, that's just that's a loss of knowledge right there, because the knowledge exists within our elders, right? Yeah, that's a wicked awesome raise. Good for you. Yeah, if you guys got recipes, write them down. Make a little, a little notebook. Just one of those ones with a folding. You can get little books with 100 pages in it. It's got a little back on them like that, but it's notepad style size. Write them down in there. Tuck them up into your cupboard, or keep them in your spice cupboard, or with your recipe books. Amer, that clock is right twice a day, more than most people. And it's set to 1 minute to midnight. So, if that doesn't provoke a thought, cool beans, Christy. All right, good. You're on your game then. All right, awesome. 48 watchers still. Holy crap. Yeah, everybody's got two thumbs nose picking, right? Like, woo, woo, I guess. Chocolate fudge sundae recipe. All right, I'll be right there, Colin. Target practice. Well, you might not need a pew pew to target practice. Maybe you could do it with bow, or yeah, there's no spare ammo. You're right. People ask me about the clock every frickin' time. Absolutely. It's right twice a day. Secret prepper. The clock. Over there. It's right twice a day. There's no battery in it. The girls I had mounted there for me, I asked them to set it at midnight. Then I backed it off by 1 minute. Assassination by chocolate sundae. Oh my God. Yeah, you can shoot your bow in your backyard. Exactly. First thing you noticed was the clock. Well, I do have something very special that is going to be mounted sort of here in the near future. It's on its way. It's coming from Michigan. Yes, I'm in Canada. And it will be here shortly, and it is a national treasure. Okay? So you're going to have something else to look at, all right? Is that a picture of Carrot Top and his family behind me, Christy? No, who asked that? Where did that question go? Amer. Nope. This right here is a piece of Haitian folk art of a gentleman playing a drum in front of a fire with women dancing around him. And it is painted on a sugar sack. COVID, yep. On your way, Gene. Thank you for joining us. It's late for me, too. We're just kind of winding it down. I was finishing... I will be getting a new bow, but yes, that's in my future preps. I'll probably do it this winter, Colin. But I got to get through some other stuff, like comms first. That's what's on my plate right now. And my pocket's only so empty. and because of comms, it's really empty. Okay. Do you know what, Grace? That's funny you mentioned that. I am going to do that one day, but I'm going to leave it for a long, long time. Just so that there's more comments about it. You know what I mean? Screw it. That's a funny thing. Yeah, I'm glad you guys notice little things like that. Just locked you down for 2 weeks in Oregon. That's good news. Not good news, but that's good intel to hear from boots on the ground. And what I mean by boots on the ground is you guys that are there with your feet on that soil. A lot of times when I say boots on the ground, it means soldiers. However, oftentimes when I say boots on the ground, it just means people that are actually there. There we go with the sofa again. Do you want to buy it? Are you in the market for a sofa? Put the time at 4:20. No, it's the 11th hour. The last minute, Colin. Like, that's where we are. We're in the 11th hour and the last minute. Right? You know what, Grace? I should do a giveaway of something for sure for someone. I got to get an email address linked up onto my site. There's a bunch of stuff I got to do before that happens. I would have done it at 2,000 or 2,500 subs, but just didn't have the technology. Pastor of Reality, welcome from the Ozarks. Welcome indeed. Doomsday, yeah. The 11th hour and the last minute. That's where we are. Vitra, hello and welcome. We're just kind of winding things up here. We're just asking questions about, what we're doing. We already asked the question, what did you do to prep this week? Now we're asking the question, what are you doing to prep tomorrow? So if you've got an answer for that question, I'll entertain it here for a few more minutes. Yeah, we kind of had the same sort of Thanksgiving here too, Laurie. Like we had ours a few weeks ago, and it was a non kind of thing. All right, guys. Well, if you guys don't have any more suggestions as to what you're up to as to prepping tomorrow or this week or whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and wishing water storage. Okay, that's cool. Exercising more. Okay. I did a little bit more of that today myself, to be honest with you, Colin. Anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up anyways. Thank you all so much for coming, and thank you for your comments, your questions, all of that. Okay? I hope everyone stays well and safe. Get your frickin' preps on, guys, and prep in an area that you don't normally prep. Go outside of your norm. Cover up some holes and things you might not have gotten into yet, or you might have thought of it. It's like, well, maybe get into it. Okay. There you go, nose picking. Night, everyone. Stay well and safe. You all know who this is. North, peace, and out for now. Stay well and safe, all. Prep hard, man. Prep hard, guys.